Hi and welcome to Teach the Table. I'm Nathan and this is Parfum. This is a game of making and selling perfume, and the ultimate goal is to have the most points, which is money, at the end of the game. To develop perfumes, players start by gathering aromas, hopefully rolling that and turning it into a fragrance note. Once they have enough fragrance notes, they can turn it into a full-blown bottle of perfume, which means that they're going to get a few flacons or little vials of that perfume to sell to people who are looking for that particular fragrance. They can also sell it at a bargain rate. Parfum is played over 3 different rounds. First is the wake up round, which is just basically a turn order round. Then we have creating perfumes, and the third round is selling the perfumes. Then the board is completely replenished and we start again. The game can end in one of 2 ways. The first way is if the distillery has empty spaces and there aren't enough fragrance notes in the bag to completely refill it, the game will immediately end. The second way the game can end is when you're replenishing customers up here. If you reveal this closing time icon, that means there's going to be one final round. So you do continue drawing and refilling any empty spaces, and there's going to be one more round and then the game will end. Getting back to the phases, the first phase is waking up, and players are going to each choose one of these clocks indicating the order in which they get to take their turn. The earlier you go, you have more choices on the board, but you don't get to take as many actions, and the opposite is if you go later. Players get to choose these based on how many points they have on the board. So the person with the least amount of points gets to make the first choice. If players are tied like they are at the beginning of the game, you just go in the order that the tokens are on top of each other. So it would be yellow, blue, and then red in this case. Phase 2 is creating perfumes, and this is done in a few different stages, but each player gets to complete the entire phase before the next player gets to go. The first thing that happens is the player can use a number of actions as indicated on their clock token. So in this case, red has 3 actions. For his actions, he can do any combination of 3 things. One action you could take is refilling any empty spot in the distillery by drawing a new fragrance note from the bag and placing it out there. In this case, it's all full, so I couldn't do that. The second possible action is taking one aroma die from the board, and the third possible action is taking one water well token and placing it on your perfumery. Water well tokens are what help you re-roll your dice so that you can successfully distill one of these fragrance notes. But on the back of them, they might have anywhere from 0 to 3 victory points, and these are bonus points at the end of the game if you still have them in your supply. You can look at your water well tokens at any time, but keep the values hidden from other players. After completing all of their actions, players will try to distill some of these fragrance notes by rolling all of their aroma dice. By rolling a flask, you had a successful distillation, and by rolling a fly, it was not successful. And this is where the water well tokens come in. You can discard one water well token to reroll all flies of a single color of dice, or you can discard one to reroll all dice combined. So maybe if your roll looked like this, that might be an advantage to do that. If you want a sure bet, you can discard 2 water well tokens to change one fly straight over to the flask icon. Discarded water well tokens go in a discard pile showing the coin value face up, and these will only go back into the water well if this is completely empty. After rolling is complete, you can use any flask that you rolled to claim any of these fragrance notes on the board. When claiming fragrance notes, you also get the points as shown on the tile. Fragrance notes are kept in front of you, and you can either turn them into a perfume now, or you can wait and do it on a future turn. You have 2 spots on your perfumery to create 2 different perfumes, a minor and a major perfume. Minor perfumes simply have a head and a base note, and major perfumes have a head and a base with a heart note in between. So if we look at the fragrance notes that we have a head note and a base note, so we could easily turn this into a perfume on the minor side. When you create a minor perfume, you immediately get 2 flacons of that perfume, which you can sell. If you created a major perfume, you would get 3 flacons. And these are going to be the perfumes that are stuck on this side until all of those are sold out. Then you're going to get rid of it, and you can make new ones. And that's the creating perfumes phase. So once you've completed that phase, all the aroma dice that you had are going to go back to the supply, and it's the next player's turn to do that. The third phase is selling those flacons of perfumes, and you can sell them either to the people in the market here or at the base price for minor or major perfumes. This still happens in player order, but it goes in 2 cycles, and each player can sell 1 flacon in each cycle, so a maximum of 2 flacons can be sold in this round. Players in the market are looking for perfumes with certain numbers and types of aromas. So for instance, the red player has a perfume with 1 rose, so he could sell 1 flacon to this person, and that would be worth 4 victory points. Next, the yellow player may sell one to this person, and the blue player may sell just this one to this person. Then we're going to have one more round where each player can sell 1 more. Since the only person left in the market wants vanilla and no one has any perfume with vanilla, maybe each player will just sell theirs for the bargain price. So 2, 2, and 3 in blue's case, since theirs is a major perfume. Once you sell your last flacon of perfume, that perfume is sold out, it gets removed, and you get a reward of 2 water well tokens for selling out that perfume. After the second sales cycle is the end of the round. Players have to check their water well tokens, and they can only have 4. So if they have more than 4, they need to discard down to 4, and then we're going to do some replenishing on the board. All clocks return to the board. We're going to replenish the fragrance notes in the distillery from the bag, and we're going to replenish all of the people in the market from this stack here. Person furthest behind on points makes the first decision, choosing a clock for the new round, and it just continues like that. Like I mentioned earlier, the game will end if there's not enough fragrance notes in this bag to refill the distillery, or if this stack reveals the closing time icon. And there's going to be one more turn if that was the case. The player with the most money on this track at the end of the game is the winner, and in the case of a tie, it's just a shared victory. There's no tiebreaker. And that's how you play Parfum. Thanks for watching Teach the Table. If you liked this video, feel free to subscribe to my channel or ring that bell to get notifications of future videos. And I'll see you next time. Don't forget to have fun.
Nathan, who treated me so rotten.